like me, I won't lose no sleep over it. Motherfuck you. Sensitive ass bitches.
From the words of the great man CT Fletcher himself. Ladies and gentlemen, if you go to the gym, you should go check out his YouTube page, because if you don't feel like it, he will not, without him being there, make you feel bad for not going to the gym and make you go harder in the gym. Pause. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the podcast of all podcasts, the greatest show on turf. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ant Money Experience. Glad to have y'all back with me one more week. Y'all know it's the unofficial start of the weekend. Hope y'all had a great week so far. The weekend is a cough away. Glad y'all can be here as always. Happy to have y'all. And if you are here right now, you know that you are watching on the most dangerous podcast network in the world, the big exclusive network. If you got a podcast idea, if your podcast needs a home, you need your podcast curated, come on over to the winning team, ladies and gentlemen. We just like that over here. Man, that glare is crazy. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and share the network as well. Subscribe to the network as well. What up, Scooty? And just like my good sister right here did, if you are in the comments, if you are viewing, make sure that you comment so I can give you your proper shout out. Your presence is always appreciated here. But before we go any further, a message from our sponsors.
This is a work of art. This is bullshit. This is a work of art.
Oh shit, y'all giving out bread over
This is
here?
bullshit. This is a work of art. But this is bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have y'all here tonight. Got a great show. What up, Tay Boogie? Tay Boogie is always a loyal viewer. Glad to have you here. I'll be in touch. I got some good finding ideas for a podcast. Hey, listen, Scooty, come on over, join the team. You definitely got the personality and the randomness to carry a podcast on your own. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be a co-host on the Ant Money Experience, make sure you inbox or DM me, whichever way have you. What up, fees? What the feezy? But make sure you reach out. Let me know if you have if you would like to be in my spotlight segment of the show. If you have a product, an initiative, a business you want highlighted, I could definitely put you in the spotlight portion of the show. Producer, if my co-host is here, could you please bring her up? If she is not here, and guess what? We're going to jump into that. If it bleeds, it leads. Looks like both of my co-hosts are late. Nigga time. Whenever they get here, producer just drop them right on. And what up, royalty? What up, brother? But producer, bring up my first topic, please. Rest in peace to Sly Stone, one of the innovators of this music that we listen to today. He is the lead singer of Sly the Family Stone, gave us songs like Family Affair, Fun in the Summertime, and countless other classics. I advise you to watch the documentary they have on Hulu about Sly Stone. Definitely was an innovator making controversial music at the time, but thought outside the box and created a lot of the sounds and music that we have today. Definitely was a great loss. Producer, bring up my next topic, please. Rest in peace to Ananda Lewis. This one was definitely a shock. If you grew up in the 90s, you remember her from shows like, I forget what the one they had on BT. I think it was Teen Spirit, it was Teen Summit. That's what it was. She was the great video DJ host, VJ as they call him. She also was on TRL on MTV, had her own show on, I believe, BET for a while, but definitely a great loss. If you were born in I mean, if you grew up in the 90s, you definitely recognize her. And that was a crazy loss. She apparently died from stage 4 breast cancer. People, make sure you are going to get your proper checkups. Also, don't need to be a hypocrite. I am due for a doctor's appointment myself, but make sure you are keeping up on your health because health is wealth. Now, producer, to my next topic, please.
Only on Action News, 2 students are shaken tonight after a traumatizing bus ride.
Instead of taking the children to school, the driver headed to the heart of Kensington. One of the children's parents used a tracking device to find her daughter after the girl called her mom, alerting something was wrong.
It's Thursday night, and the big story in Action News is a child distraught and a livid mother demanding answers after what was supposed to be an ordinary trip to school.
Now, that was not stage 9. I said stage 4, nigga. But that was a crazy topic right there. I came across that last week. I believe it was like Thursday or Friday. I think Friday. But apparently, a substitute bus driver derailed off of the route to school and led these children down K&A. One of the parents, like when you have younger children that ride the bus and if they have cell phones, I advise putting their location on. As teenagers, I feel like you should give them a little bit more leeway, a little bit more trust. But in the younger years, I definitely suggest putting the location on their phone so you have an idea where they are all the time. That was some wild shit. And I was looking at the comments. A lot of people were saying, well, they taught those kids a lesson that day, showed kids how things really can be out here if you go down the wrong path. Fuck no. Don't teach my kid no lesson. I'm the parent. Let me decide when to teach kids a lesson because those kids, the one parent that they were reporting about, well, the one child they were reporting about was 9 years old. That's some scary shit. Everybody don't want to expose their kids to that. And you the substitute, you're not even a bus driver, you the substitute bus driver. Oh, I don't need you teaching my kid no fucking lessons. Uh, nah, until they a house their location is on. You know what? I don't have issue with that. I had one of my cousins where I had asked one time on Facebook, do you track your kid's location? And one of my cousins was like, yeah, my daughter 21, I still track her location. I am not opposed to it. I think that kids can exist without having locations on. We did it when we were their age, but the technology is available. You use it at your own discretion. But how do y'all feel about that? Let's just say this parent was super busy that morning and happened to check one time they was on the way to school the proper way, and the kid comes home from school and tells you like, hey, mom, dad, we was going down this area and it was crazy. We saw like a lot of people, they looked like they were on drugs. This kid was 9, so I can only imagine how traumatized the child was. I remember when my daughter was 12, I went to actually do a podcast at one of my homies crib that lives in Kensington, and I remember it was this zombie. He was walking up to the car. I looked at the light. I looked at my gun as well because if he tried anything, he was never mind. But I remember I looked at the light, I looked at the distance that the guy was to my car, and I knew he wasn't going to be able to get to my car before I drove off through that light. But my daughter, I remember when I drove through the light, my daughter was just like, because he was approaching on her side. That's some traumatizing shit for kids. But bus driver going to meet my hands for sure. Because who the fuck? And I was surprised that so many people was like, oh, they taught the kids a valuable lesson. I don't need you teaching my daughter no lesson. Leave that to me as the parent. Facts, Big E, even after they move out. I mean, yeah, I don't have any issue with anybody that feels that way. I personally feel a little different, but to each his own. my daughter's mother, she is on the same page as everybody else. And I remember one time she she was following my daughter's location, and my daughter tried to lie. She wasn't even doing nothing crazy. She was at Malcolm X Park, and she was like, "Where you at?" She was like, "Oh, I needed to do a walk." She's like, "Nigga, you been at Malcolm X Park for a minute. You ain't walking nowhere." Turns out she went to hang out with her friends and just was trying to be sneaky about it, what have you. Probably was over there talking to some little boys like teenagers do. But for sure, I think we are all in agreement. We leave teaching lessons to the parent, because who the fuck are you? But with that being said, producer, my next topic, please.
Because I have a paper right here that shows my court started at 1 o'clock, but then when I called, right here,
I don't
and
see 1 o'clock. Looks like I saw 9 a.m.
I had 1 o'clock on one of those papers. Yes,
You just showed me a paper, Miss Outerbridge, that
yes, I
said you.
did.
Miss
Right.
Outerbridge,
So when I called,
no, we can't talk at the same time.
well, I apologize for being
Stop.
late. You, excuse me.
Stop.
Are
Miss
you?
Outerbridge,
You
get put
asked me a
out. Okay?
question. I'm
I
just trying to
know.
answer it.
I know. Whatever you're trying to prepare
I'm trying
down.
to be my daughter.
Get your coat. You got to put your properly dressed on. I
I
don't do
am
the robe.
properly dressed. I have on a t-shirt. I am
Is
properly
that a
dressed.
robe? Is that a robe?
It's the problem, sir. I'm not even doing that. You asked me a question. I'm answering. My daughter is sick. I had to keep her home from school. I'm just trying to feed her. That is
That's
it.
understandable, but you're in court.
Miss Outerbridge, I'm sorry that your daughter is sick, but again, you're in court, okay? And we're going to treat it as such. I asked
Okay,
for
I'm
your
properly dressed.
Now, audience, I want to know how y'all feel about that video. I chopped it a little bit towards the end. The judge had accused the young lady of being naked. She was out of pocket from the start. She knew she was doing court. Come on, we got to do better. I would have issued a warrant for her being stupid. You know, with this one, I was conflicted because I could definitely see both sides of this situation. I could see if you woke up to your child being sick, losing track of time, but you have a court date, and is a virtual court date. I'm sorry, my child comes first. Now, I think that the lawyer failed her in this situation because she said 1 o'clock. So I'm gonna assume that they are somewhere in around the area of 1 to 1:30 when she was doing court at 9 o'clock. Her lawyer should have been on her ass. Yo, where you at? You got court. When he did kind of go in on her, but I understand where he was coming from. I understand where he was coming from in terms of how, I mean, the respect of the court, but also, yo, you could have had a little bit more leniency with the situation. I mean, you could have, no, and we adults, multitasking is what we do. My kids have been situated, and I would have been prepared for court. I get that. I do get that. I mean, I don't. The only details we don't have is like what kind of sick was her daughter. Was her daughter waking up, throwing up, and shitting everywhere? I mean, I could see that taking you past the point of losing track of time, getting her situated, trying to make sure she's good, regardless of the court situation. But also, her lawyer failed her in that one. Her lawyer should have been, "Hey, Your Honor, can we postpone this? My client has an issue with my client has an issue with court. I'm sorry, an issue with their child. Can we table this for a minute?" I think that would have been a proper way of going about things. I just think that homeboy definitely failed her. And I mean, it sucks, but homeboy was on bullshit. But let me my bad, had a little technical difficulty. Let me get to see some of these comments. Let me see. If that was the case, we would have been at the ER. That's that might be a reach if the kid is shitting and pissing. I mean, shitting and throwing up. You don't really have time. I mean, I've been there where I've been sick, where I was sitting on the toilet throwing up in the sink. It's possible to be there. I don't necessarily know that that's the situation you could straight bring your kid to the ER fresh off of that. But let me get the Tay Boogie's comment. My wife says he works with people, but when they get rude with them, it's a wreck. I could see that as well. I think that uh, I don't know that she necessarily. I think she came off defensive. I don't have her coming off as being rude. That must be your cousin. She was wrong. I don't. I don't have her being completely wrong in this situation. I think that she should have had a little bit more initiative in handling it. But if her child was truly sick, I don't think she was wrong. She's been in front of him before. That's a little different. If she's been in front of him before, she could have been a repeat offender. I could see that giving him a little bit more attitude. I think that um, if it's your first time in front of this judge and you come with something like that, I can see him being more willing to work with you. But if you're a repeat offender, I can see that being a bit of a problem. But no, your wife has been in front of him before. Oh, okay. So, I mean, with your wife being in front of him, was he a little bit more lenient? Was he a little bit more reasonable? Or, oh, she worked cases in his room. Okay. Okay, Tay Boogie. I know who to call if I get in trouble. But I don't know. I personally feel like I can see both sides of the argument in that case. I give the judge a little bit more leeway. I don't think he was necessarily being rude. I can see him being irritated because one thing that I find to be a common theme with women, I only generalize when I see a vast amount of women do this. A lot of times, women don't take your time into consideration. And that shit annoys me. If I tell you, yo, let's meet up at 2 on Saturday, we going to the movies. At 1:30, don't tell me you just getting in the house and you got to change. We should be riding off and getting ready to go to wherever we're going at this point. And I just think a lot of women are just not fucking considerate of time. That that could be a lounge talk in itself. But producer, to my next topic, please.
It's of protesters moving them on through the heart of LA. You just shot the bullets.
Now, there's been protests all throughout the country and protests of these ICE raids. People have had enough with illegal immigrants being captured and deported. Sticky topic because if you are here illegally, you're kind of at the hands of the government. Although these raids, they could be done with a little bit more dignity. Some of the ways that they're going about this shit is nasty. Going to get kids at school is foul. Another thing that I could say is I saw a video the other day where they conducted a ICE raid at a fucking elementary school graduation. So a bunch of kids, their parents either were arrested or escaped capture and are on the run. And you got a bunch of elementary kids without their parents now. I think these things can be done in a much more dignified way. I don't know all the procedures because I'm not in the know in that particular area, but this shit is wild. Me personally, I feel that they said graduate your ass to the other side of the border. That is wild royalty. But I personally feel that this is not a black issue. This is not an issue that directly affects me. So I'm just kind of sitting back minding my business. a lot of these individuals have voted for this kind of treatment. So you get kind of what you asked for in this situation. I saw a guy earlier on this Philly page with a mask on saying, "My black brothers and sisters." I see somebody saying, "Black people stand by. This not our fight." And they selling T-shirts with black people sitting on a bench with cell phones and people pictured in the background protesting, and it says it's not our fight. Now, for educational purposes, if you could find me one of those shirts, hit my DM, hit my inbox. I would like to purchase, because this is not our fight, black people. I stand with you because I am a true believer in rebellion, especially against certain entities, but this is not my fight. All I can do is say thoughts and prayers to all those involved. Now, we can sell that merch if you want. Hey, let's talk about it offline. Big exclusive. I like the way you think. But now, also, I am here for the fucking jokes. Why they shoot that lady like that? Ladies and gentlemen, this also has to do with Donald Trump activating the National Guard in California. And I want y'all to know, whenever they activate the National Guard, don't go in those areas. Be smart about things. I was in the Maryland National Guard, and I'm going to tell you, these are not real soldiers. These are people that do this as a part-time job. I know that I had to do the rest of my military contract before I could be officially off of papers. And I said that, you know what? I'll just do the Maryland National Guard. I can do my job Monday through Friday and 1 week in a month do my National Guard duty, 2 weeks in the summertime. When I tell you, there was a couple times that I was almost activated now for some humanitarian stuff. Like, we got to go do search and rescue because the bad storm came through an area. Actually, rest in peace to one of my sergeants. He actually lost his life during a storm in Maryland, trying to save a woman and her pets out of her house that was flooded from a real bad storm that came through. I don't mind helping in that sense. But if it's a protest and I'm out here and I know I could be making more money at my job right now, I'm going to be mad as shit. And I'm going to be irritated. And a lot of times they give you a bunch of ammo and say fire at will. Guess what? If you piss me off, I'm going to shoot. But the way they shot that lady was wild. She was not even in the line of fire from where that threat was coming from. And for that, I would like to say, you officers that shot that Australian lady, you're a crumb bum.
You're a crumb creep. I want to fight you. But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum.
Shot that white lady like that. It should be a damn shame. Don't tell me fire well. I'm taking the they rubber rounds, so they non-lethal. So I remember one of my sergeants when I was in the National Guard, he told me during a Freddie Gray incident, they gave them rounds and told them fire at will. And he said, "No, I'm from Baltimore. These my folks. So you're not going to be just firing on people." The guy said somebody did something and it wasn't even threatening. And the guy pulled his gun up to fire at that person. And he said, "Listen, if you fire one of them rubber rounds at one of them people over there that I know a bunch of them is my family, first of all, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Then I'm gonna have them come over here and whoop your ass again." I said, "Yeah, that's what we would do." We were, you know what? Because I want to laugh, honestly. Producer, play the video one more time.
It's of protesters moving them on through the heart of LA. You just shot the bullets.
Kapow! David, thank you for joining us this evening. Shout out to you, good brother. But with that being said, producer, bring up my next topic, please.
I'm about to give y'all a real quick fucking life lesson, like real shit. Cause when I was in 7th, 8th grade, bro, we was fucking homeless, bro. We was homeless, living in hotels, living anywhere. Child, was they still doing that down here? This the motherfucking hotel we used to live in. Bitch, I think they still do that shit there. Like, I'm about this. This is the most infamous hotel in Philly, the most famous hotel. This the fucking joint where the 304s, the hookers, the hoes, everything in this joint. Bro, we used to live here. Like, we really did. Like, we was homeless. We was living in the kitchenette joint. Then we was living up here. My mom used to get deals because the owner liked my mom and stuff. Like, she was to get my mom deals and stuff. But, yo, mama, I can't blame my mom. She had one income, her EBT, and her EBT. So I cannot blame my mom.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I always advise, if you are on social media and you see a video similar to this, always go straight to the comments. So if you are not from the West Philly area, you may not be familiar with that hotel, motel, not the Holiday Inn. Farthest thing from it, and the Holiday Inn is not even is not even that nice of a place. So the Blue Moon is a hotel in West Philly, I believe off of 48th Street, synonymous with drug activity and prostitution. I mean, I feel dirty just riding past it. I don't believe it's open at this time, and they honestly should probably just the location because the amount of filth in that place. So this young man was talking about his struggles as a kid, and I think he had all intention of making an inspirational video about how his struggles are and how you can overcome them and how you should be humble and never forget where you're coming from. Yeah, comedian Tay Boogie, it is definitely a comment that I seen on that post was, your mom didn't just have one income. You just didn't know about the other income. And if his mom was out there tricking and he didn't know about it, applaud her, because that's one, it's going to sound bad, ladies, but if you're ever down on your luck, you always have something that you can tell. But comedian Tay Boogie, where's my man? I want to see something real quick. Listen, for educational purposes, I would like to see said mom, but you know, you can see a lot of a mother and her kids. The video went on to talk about one of his uncles that was also tricking in that hotel. Nasty work. El Presidente, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I can't complain. We just watched the video of that young man talking about his mother and living at the Blue Moon. Are you familiar with the Blue Moon?
Absolutely not.
I am glad to hear that, because I would have had quite a few follow-up questions had you been familiar with the Blue Moon.
Oh, I know you would.
A straight up cesspool. It should be imploded. It should be sidewalk at this point. It should be. But with that being said, producer, my next
It's a
topic,
walkway full of disease.
Shout out to Coco winning the French Open, the first American since, I believe they said, Serena Williams about maybe 15 years ago. Now, I just want to say shout out to this young lady and her journey, because she has been catching a bad rap in the last calendar year. I mean, she had the incident at the Olympics last year where they robbed her. She had another incident where they robbed her last year. She asked for a review, and the umpire, referee, whatever they call them, people that sit in them chairs on the side, basically gave her attitude, and they came back later on and said that the umpire was wrong. She should have got the review she asked for. And the young lady has a clean image. She just is a stand-up individual, and I love to see people that put in the hard work get the credit they want. Now, a follow-up to that, I'm glad you brought that up, comedian Tay Boogie. the opponent really tried to downplay her win. Now, that is actually an interesting topic in itself because the opponent said that I didn't play my best game and she took advantage of it. And a lot of people felt that there was a slight. Did you take that as a slight?
I just take it as being honest. I mean, I think it's really humbling when people can be honest about them putting their best foot forward and when they don't.
I didn't take it as a slight to Coco because the person that she beat was #1 in the world. So it's not like this is just a slouch. And I feel that you know when you're not on your best game. You know when you at work and shit just ain't working out. You know that, I mean, you could be playing basketball and you're like, damn, I shot off today. So I don't think it was a slight in that fashion. Also, I was watching somebody earlier say, like, I'm a fierce competitor. I don't shake hands after I lose. Lucky if you don't get two of these.
I'm shaking your damn hand. Yeah, I ain't
What'd
shaking
you
your
say?
damn hand. I lost. The hell? I'm not shaking your damn hand. I lost. I'm a sore loser.
My dad used to get in arguments with me when he would say, "Oh, Tom Brady's a bitch. Why he ain't shake their hand after they lost the Super Bowl? He just lost the Super Bowl."
Exactly. Ain't nobody happy after they lose. Like,
and one thing is unsportsmanlike. You fucking right is unsportsmanlike because I'm not a sportsman. I used to tell my daughter when she played basketball, you got 5 fouls and 2 techs. Use all of them.
Hello. That's just what
Hey,
it
don't
is.
let her get that crossover. Give her a little clothesline when she go up for that layup after she cross you over.
I don't know about that though.
That's what kind of sportsman I am. But I don't fault people for not being sportsmen. And another thing, if you are a fierce competitor, I think the worst thing is for you to have to give an interview after a loss.
Absolutely. Because who wants to do an interview after they lost? Like, you're already in your head, like, damn, I didn't do my best. Like, I don't want to talk to you after that and explain to you why I didn't do my best. Like, come on.
Honestly, fuck all y'all.
Yeah, like, get the hell out of here. Get my face.
Yeah, but I don't want that to out and overshine Coco. Shout out to that young lady, and I wish her continued success. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Absolutely.
But y'all know it's my favorite part of If It Bleeds, It Leads. Producer, play my funny video of the week.
Stop. Hey, babe. What's up, babe? But yeah, this is my best friend Adrian. Decided to come by and visit. I didn't know your best friend was a dude. Oh, I never told you? Oh, well, Adrian is gay. Like, oh, yeah, trust me. I could never trust me. You got nothing to worry about. Okay, Adrian, but go ahead, sit down, make yourself comfortable. Okay, girl. I'll be right back, you guys. I gotta use the bathroom. All right, I'll be back. You guys get to know each other. Hey, bro, it's nice to meet you. She'll never believe you, nigga. She'll never believe you. You niggas dumb as hell. Doing all that straight shit. Wanna know how I met your girl? I used to DM her every day with hard eyes. She used to leave me on scene every time. I knew I couldn't have her. Then I had this thought, this idea. Just be gay. So now, every single girl that don't want me, I just become their best friend. But not just any best friend. Cause I get all the benefits. I'm smacking their ass, grabbing their breasts, getting twerked on, cuddling with them. I get to even call them a bitch if I want to. I just do it for the love of the game. Knowing that I'm disrespecting their relationships. And making sure that if I can't have them, nobody can. I start planting seeds. Telling them y'all got toxic vibes, saying y'all zodiacs don't match. You know the dumb stuff they like to hear. I've seen a lot of niggas like you come and go. But I'm inevitable. Y'all can't even say nothing because they gonna call y'all insecure. Oh, y'all playing checkers while I'm playing chess. Checkmate, nigga. Okay, guys, I'm back. Hey, girl. Oh my god, babe. You smoke cigarettes? It's like a big ick for me. I don't know how you didn't know that. Anyway, Adrian, how y'all been getting along? Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, your boyfriend smoke got my lungs. But
Yeah, I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, he's actually really funny. He's really funny though.
Listen, shout out to Trey G's, one of my favorite Instagram comedians to watch. His content is always very original. That video, and it's another video he has where it's him and three guys, and he's like, "Yo, what's your body count?" One dude was like 10. He was like 10. Okay. The other dude was like 69. He was like 69. What? I only got one. They was like, "You only fuck one person in your life?" He was like, "I thought we was talking about people we killed."
That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
But is this a real thing?
I honestly think that some guys actually really do this. Actually, my best friend really is gay, so that would never happen. But
Allegedly.
No, he really is gay. He just got married to his husband a couple years ago.
They both here. They both out here running the same game.
Shut up. No, but like that's crazy though. But I do think a lot of guys think that way because that is the closest way in. You got to think about it. You're with her all the time. You're on the phone. She's telling you all of her secrets. She's telling you what she wants in a man. So you have everything that you need to get what you want and to get in.
The crazy part was when he said, "And you can't tell her this. She's not gonna believe you. Because then she just gonna think you insecure."
It was like, what? Ooh, when he pulled out the cigarette, like
the cigarette killed me.
That was gangster.
The cigarette killed me, but shout out to Trey. Trey, where that feedback coming from? But shout out to Trey and the facts. Son still talking. He would have been. He would have got missed. They said, yeah, that was. You seen this play out? Tay Boogie. He was a wild life. Also, I'm noticing Tay Boogie, you probably violent. But with that being said, producer, let's jump into that lounge talk. So
hold up, let me come back. Go out and come back in.
All right. Now
everybody at my house, but it's Crip style.